My child, do not be afraid when you see those who work against righteousness seem strong. Their voices are loud for a season, but I, the Lord, decide how long a season lasts. What is built on injustice cannot stand forever. Every empire built without mercy writes its own ending. The enemies of goodness may gather power, but their roots are shallow. They plant their strength in fear, not in faith, and fear always withers. When I breathe upon what is false, it disappears like dust in the wind. The fall of darkness is not random. I do not act in sudden anger. I act in perfect timing. For a while I allow the proud to boast so that their own words reveal their hearts. Then, when their arrogance reaches its height, I remove the ground beneath their feet. This is justice wrapped in patience. Remember this, nothing evil lasts, even if it looks unshakable. The walls of cruelty are paper in my fire. The streets of corruption crumble when truth walks through them. When I say enough, history changes in a breath. The meaning of the verse. This verse teaches that I erase the memory of wickedness, not because I am forgetful, but because I am holy. I let generations learn the lesson, then I clean the wounds so the earth can heal. I allow people to see what power without love creates, and then I sweep it away so compassion can be born again. Even the ruins of injustice speak. They whisper that goodness endures longer than greed. That is why my servant once sang that I turn mighty cities into empty places, their noise replaced by silence, so all may see that only righteousness builds forever. Related paraphrase truths, all copyright free, woven from a song of ancient praise, Psalm 37:10 paraphrased. In a little while, those who do evil will vanish. Search for them, and they will not be found. Meaning, my justice works quietly but surely. What seems permanent fades when light exposes it. 2 from the Wisdom Scrolls, Proverbs 10:30 paraphrased. The righteous have a lasting foundation, but the wicked cannot remain in the land. Meaning, integrity is stronger than any fortress. Deceit has no roots deep enough to survive truth. From a prophetic vision, Isaiah 26:5 paraphrased, the Lord brings down the high walls of pride and lays them in the dust. Meaning, pride is a tower made of smoke. When my breath moves, it disappears. Each of these words reveals my nature. I oppose cruelty not because I hate people, but because I love purity. When I remove, I also restore. When I erase the name of an evil kingdom, I am not erasing people's value. I am cleansing the earth of poison. I am the gardener of history. Where injustice grows, I cut. Where mercy sprouts, I water. The pruning may look painful, but it makes way for fruit that will last. Do not mourn when evil structures fall. Their fall is the sound of new beginnings. I make room for truth by removing lies. I make space for peace by silencing violence. The silent cities. There is a holy silence that follows my judgment. It is not the silence of emptiness. It is the silence of all. When the noise of oppression ends, hearts finally hear my whisper. In the stillness that remains, I plant hope again. So when you see ruins, do not only see endings, see soil ready for seeds. For I turn ashes into gardens and desolation into destiny. Lessons for my children. Learn this pattern. Evil rises fast, but goodness lasts long. Falsehood spreads quickly, but truth remains when the dust settles. That is why I tell you, stand firm, even when the ground shakes. Do not fear when the proud boast. Their story is short. I give every person a chance to choose light, but those who cling to darkness fade like mist at sunrise. If you stay humble and honest, you will outlast every storm. Your peace will become a testimony that faith is stronger than fear. Related paraphrase verse, Job 18:5-6. The light of the wicked is snuffed out and their flame no longer shines. Meaning, without goodness, even success becomes darkness. What glitters for a moment dims when the heart turns cold. So, my child, never envy those whose brightness comes from pride. It is a spark without oil. Soon it dies. Seek the fire of faith that burns forever. My mercy in the midst of justice. Even when I bring down nations, I remember individuals. One humble prayer can open a window in the middle of judgment. Remembers. One act of kindness can draw a line of light through a field of shadow. That is why I tell you, keep praying even for the lost. My heart longs for repentance more than for retribution. I destroy systems of evil, not souls willing to change. My desire is always to restore, not to erase humanity. But those who refuse mercy choose their own end. In my kingdom, freedom and responsibility are twins. The end of the wicked, the beginning of renewal. When the noise of evil ends, creation sighs with relief. The air becomes lighter, the land breathes again. Justice is not only punishment, it is healing. Every fall of cruelty makes way for kindness to rise. I rebuild the world through people who walk humbly, love mercy, and do what is right even when no one watches. You are called to be one of those people, light in the aftermath of darkness. A paraphrased reflection, Psalm 37, 35, 36. I saw a man of violence flourishing like a green tree in its season, but soon he passed and no place could find him. Meaning, evil often looks alive and strong, but its roots rot unseen. Time and truth always uncover what pride hides. So trust the slow work of my righteousness. The seasons of men change, but my faithfulness never does. The eternal perspective. Child, when you see kingdoms rise and fall, remember this truth. The only empire that endures is the empire of love. Every monument built without compassion will eventually crumble. But the smallest act of kindness done in my name becomes eternal stone in my temple of grace. I measure greatness not by crowns, but by compassion. I remember not the names written on gold, but the hearts written in mercy. Those are the ones whose memory never fades. My whisper to your heart, do not be discouraged when evil seems to have the loudest song. It is only the noise before silence. I am already preparing the dawn that follows this night. Well, stay faithful. Let your worship outlast their shouting. For I am still the same Lord who raises the humble and quiets the violent. And when I move, no power can stand against my will. Hold my words close. I will remove what harms, I will heal what's broken, and I will cause your peace to shine brighter than the memory of fear. Closing promise. My justice does not forget. My mercy does not fail. The memory of evil will fade, but the memory of those who trusted me will live forever. So walk in peace, my beloved. Let the fall of the wicked teach you humility, not hatred. Let my sovereignty teach you rest, not fear. You belong to the unshakable kingdom, and no shadow of this world can erase the light I have placed within you.